When we started, there were less than 2,000 computers in the entire country. Our focus now is on 2047. Dataquest was always, the entire user industry, for them it was a gold. For instance, in 2014, the chief guest at our annual awards was the now Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. More and more youth move towards information technology. Thank you very much, Madam President, for recognizing the role of Dataquest in the last 40 years. Good day to all of you. We celebrate the end of 40 years of our celebration. We are now in our 42nd year, and in these 4 decades, the journey of Dataquest has absolutely been parallel to the journey of the ICT industry that has happened in this country. When we started, there were less than 2,000 computers in the entire country. The PC had still not made its appearance in India, and that is the time when we started chronicling, we started influencing, we started defining what should happen as far as the ICT industry in this country should be. And that indeed played a role on several future generations of IT professionals who, through our publications, read about the ICT, got sensitized about it, came into this entire industry and have developed Digital India as what we see today. These 40 years are synonymous with certain landmark events that have happened. One, I would say, is the Dataquest Top 20. I remember Dataquest Top 20 used to be an issue that everybody used to look for, because that put together what the numbers for the entire industry were, who were the leaders. Companies used to jostle for that leadership position because it would have impact on their future growth. And the DQ Top 20 for several years was absolutely the chronicling of and recording of the data. It was the scorekeeper for the entire ICT industry. Not just that, we took up issue. We talked about policies. We took up issues such as, in the earlier days, whether it was antivirus, where we talked about copyright, where we talked about, the entire issue about the software export industry coming up in India. We had talked about, networking and internet becoming the centerpiece. We wrote about, the broadband issues right in the early days, the mobile revolution and what needed to be done there, in terms of Digital India, what requires to be done. So we have looked at these different kind of developments that have taken place in the ICT industry, and I'm very happy and very proud to say that these influencing roles that Dataquest did in a highly responsible manner shaped the industry. Even now, we want to continue doing the same thing, and our focus now is on 2047. We want to see what is going to be happening in the next 20 to 25 years as we move into the 100 years of ICT, and what are going to be some of the changes that are going to be there. A lot of them will be driven by deep tech, by artificial intelligence, by machine language, by robotics, by AR, VR, by blockchain, by 6G or 7G, whatever communication protocols come, in terms of human-machine interaction, in terms of natural language processing. So there is going to be a deep change that is going to be taking place in the next 2 decades, and Dataquest will be there with you to talk about what are some of these changes, to educate you and to influence what should be the direction that should be taken as far as the future evolution of the industry is concerned, as we have done in a very, very responsible manner in the past. Dataquest was always, the entire user industry, for them it was a gold mine, because it gave them the trends, not just about technology, but about business. what is the direction in which business is moving, how implementation needs to be done. So whether it was the financial institutions, whether it was manufacturing industry, whether it was a service industry, all of them would rely on Dataquest to provide them with the information about the industry. I'm also very proud of the Dataquest annual awards. These awards recognize the movers and shakers of the ICT industry. The Dataquest Person of the Year always focused on the developments that had happened in the last 12 to 18 months of that particular year. The Lifetime Achievement Award looked at long-term contribution that was made as far as the ICT industry is concerned. The Path Breaker Award was given to those people who did things in a different way. You brought in some kind of an innovation, a new kind of business, and therefore these three awards were actually can trace out the entire evolution of the ICT industry. These three awards can actually trace out the evolution of the ICT industry in terms of the changes that were taking place in the entire business. So whether it was software exporters, hardware manufacturers, whether it was network providers, whether it was startups, all variety of people at different places, at different phases, having recognized through the Dataquest annual award. Dataquest also provided a great connection between the government and the industry. For instance, in 2014, the chief guest at our annual awards was the now Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. He interacted with all the stalwarts of the industry, went into a listening mode and heard what were the voices of the ICT industry, and this was given by 30 plus industry chiefs, and that formed the basis for a lot of thoughts behind Digital India, which he launched in 2014. Another great role that Dataquest played that I'm very proud of is motivating the youth of this country to adapt to information technology. The way we wrote about the entire industry, enthused the people, ensured that they came into the fold of the ICT industry, the way through the ICT jobs, there was a time when there were more than 30 pages of job opportunities that we used to carry in the publications, and that ensured that more and more youth moved towards information technology. We also promoted women in information technology. In early days, we started talking about a workforce, the glass ceiling, and how women could play a very, very important role as far as information technology industry is concerned. Another great thing that we did was to talk about the assistive technology and work in terms of ensuring that information technology benefits actually help the disabled community in this country. There were 2 roundtables that we had with 2 of the chief ministers of states in which we called the ICT leaders and talked about assistive technology. Those are the kind of influencing roles in terms of ensuring that ICT got a very, very firm way, all-encompassing base. And that was the role that Dataquest continued.